Hi there, we're going to start with the class. Today we're going to be dealing with how to write a personal statement. We're going to start with the first activity, that is that we have to read different adverts. We have to decide what type of people would be most likely to apply to each one. Here we have the first advert, and it's from Newmore College.
A prestigious college with world-class facilities and staff. We teach a full range of subjects. Funding is available for travel and living expenses, computers, books, and other relevant study equipment. Fees. If you are interested, write us a personal statement in 500 words, telling what you want to study, why you wish to study it, and why we should offer you a place. The second advert. Have you got a good business idea but no funds to put it into practice? We can offer setup grants to people with original and viable ideas. All proposals must be submitted by the end of this month.
And the third advert goes like this. Time for a change? Why not retrain? Grants available for deserving applicants who would like to do one of a wide range of retraining courses at a number of local further education colleges. Send us a one-page proposal explaining what you would like to do and why. Now, enter the forum and discuss which adverb you would be most likely to respond to. What would you want the money for? Imagine that you and your friends are considering applying to the college in advert A. What would you need to do before writing your personal statements to give yourselves a better chance of success? Let's remember that a personal statement is a kind of proposal, a piece of formal persuasive writing in which someone proposes him or herself as a suitable candidate for a course of study. Now look at the article on page 119 about things to avoid in personal statements. Match mistakes 1 to 9 with the problems in paragraph A to I. Not to write a personal statement. To prepare an effective personal statement, you need to know what to do, as well as be aware of what not to do. These tips are based on real personal statements that have been rejected by universities. So pay close attention to each one of these. My first tip for you might seem obvious, but it is one that a surprising number of candidates ignore. Make sure that your statement is long enough to get your point across, but not so short that it makes you look careless or worse, dismissive. Admissions officers read hundreds, if not thousands, of applications, so be sure that you write a statement that keeps to the word limits or space restrictions that have been set. We have two choices. Select one of them. The writer submitted 5 pages, although she was asked for just a paragraph. Or the second one. The writer said he was excellent at science, but his application form showed poor chemistry exam results. Letter B. Don't forget to proofread your statement very carefully. Most people don't apply to just one college, but to several at the same time, and so they inevitably copy and paste from one application to the next. That's understandable. What is surprising is how many people forget to change key bits of information, for example, the title of the course they are applying for. Which is the problem? The statement said the wrong college, or the writer gave details about what subjects he studied at school. Letter C. It gives a poor impression if your statement contains spelling or grammar mistakes. So don't be too lazy to check your work carefully. Ask someone to look through it for you, if possible. It's always easier to pick up on someone else's mistakes. Don't rely on your computer's spell check, as it will not identify all the errors and may suggest corrections that are inappropriate. What is the problem here? The writer wrote "it's" instead of "it's" throughout. The statement was presented as a set of photos with captions. Letter D. The above tips are all technical matters. The ones that follow relate more to the content of your personal statement, and these are at least as important. First of all, you should not, for example, just include facts about yourself that will already have read in your application forms. We know what school you went to, for example. What we don't know is what motivates and enthuses you, or what your reasons are for choosing our college and our course. What the problem here is, the writer gave details about what the subjects he studied at school, or the writer wrote "it's" instead of "it's" throughout. Letter E. However, what you say should not be at odds with what is contained elsewhere in the application. Don't claim in your statement that you are passionate about learning languages if there is no evidence of your having taken any languages course or passed any language exams on your application form. It's always worth checking back to make sure that everything is consistent. What's the problem here? The writer said he was excellent at science, but his application form showed poor chemistry exam results. Or the writer wrote "it's" instead of "it's" throughout. Letter F. Don't try to make the admissions tutor feel sorry for you. Resist the temptation to use the statement as an opportunity to complain about how hard life has been for you, how unfair your school has been to you, how your parents do not understand you, how no one has ever given you a lucky break. It may sometimes be appropriate to briefly refer to some specific problem, but the focus should be on how you overcame any obstacle you have met. In that way, you may impress by demonstrating your resilience. The writer began her statement by saying that her marks throughout school had been badly affected by the fact that she came from a poor family and had nowhere quiet to study at home. Or the writer gave details about what subjects he studied at school. Letter G. It's best not to focus on potential earning power as being your main motivation for doing the course. Even if part of your reason for wanting to do a degree in dentistry or law is the salary you should eventually earn. Admissions tutors are much more impressed by those students who appear to be motivated by a love of learning and an enthusiasm for the academic discipline they are applying to study. What is the problem here? The statement made the point that the writer hoped that qualifying as an engineer would help him to buy his own flat within a few years. The writer concluded her statement by saying getting a place on this course is the stuff that dreams are made of. Letter H. Don't try to attract the reader's attention by being gimmicky. I've seen several applications written in verse. One applicant submitted her statement on the form of a short story. Another based his on an abstract painting he had done, explaining how it represented his life so far and his ambitions for the future. The problem is the statement was presented as a set of photos with captions, or the writer gave details about what subjects he studied at school. Letter I. Finally, don't fall into the trap of thinking that a good writing style is only important if you are applying to do an English degree. So avoid cliches, first things first. Or, at this point in time, we don't expect personal statements to be works of literature, but there is no doubt that we are impressed when they are written in a polished and succinct way. The problem here is the writer concluding her statement by saying getting a place on this course is the stuff that dreams are made of, or the statement said the wrong college. Let's move on then to the vocabulary. Alright, in this exercise, you have to match the words to form verb plus noun collocations from the article. Sometimes there is more than one possible answer. Let's get started then with number 1, to get. And here we have the possible answer would be then get attention, get a salary, get your point across, and get an impression. Number 2, to give an impression. Number 3, to resist. Resist the temptation. Number 4, to overcome an obstacle. Number 5, to fall. To fall into a trap. Number 6, to do. To do a degree. Number 7, to earn. To earn a degree and to earn a salary. Number 8, to attract. To attract attention. Here, you have to choose one of the collocations from exercise 1 and complete each sentence. You will need to change the form of the verb. There are more than one possible answer. For example, in number 1, after I left school, my brother got a degree. Number 2, Sally me that she didn't approve of my decision. Sally gave me the impression give me the impression that she didn't approve of my decision. Chloe's unconventional style of dress always attracts a lot of attention. Number 4, having some good slides would help you at the meeting. To get your points across. At the meeting. Having some good slides will help you to get your point across the meeting. Number 5. These days, most doctors earn good salaries. Good salaries. In this exercise, you have to work with a partner, or you can enter the forum and discuss these questions. List some situations when you had to persuade someone to do something. Number 2, how did you persuade them? How easy was it? Number 3, what technique can be used to persuade people to the things they are reluctant to do? Now listen to 8 people and complete the table. What the speaker wants others to do, how the speaker tries to persuade them.
Track 10, Unit 19, Language of Persuasion, Exercise 2. 1.
Now look, fish fingers and peas and carrots and broccoli. Oh, you like broccoli, don't you? Let me just put that on the fork. There, you have that. Go on, open your mouth. That's a good boy. You chew. That's it. And now, a carrot. There you go. In it goes. You take that carrot. That's a good boy. Can I have some? Can Mummy have some? Oh, that's lovely. Thank you. Now you have some. Go on. You have that spoon. One for you, one for me. Good boy.
2. Excuse me, have you got a moment? I wanted to ask you something, if I'm not disturbing you. The thing is, I'm owed a couple of days' holiday, and I'd like to use them before the end of the year, if possible. I appreciate it's quite a busy time for the department, but I'd really like to take next Thursday and Friday off. My brother's here, and I'd like to spend a bit of time with him. We hardly ever manage to meet. Anyway, I'll make sure everything's on track before I leave, and I'll brief the PA so that she can deal with anything. But I don't expect there to be any problems, and you can always contact me. I'll have my phone with me. 3.
Now, I think you all know why we've had to meet today. I've got the monthly figures back from head office, and for the 3rd month running, sales are down. And, well, we all know that things are getting tighter. It looks like I'll have to ask you to put in a little bit more overtime. No, I know that's not going to be very popular, but this is a good chance to make a bit more money. Okay? I mean, this is probably just a temporary measure, but thanks for your understanding and all your hard work. Really appreciate it.
4.
Sorry, no. I don't want that. I don't want the red one. I actually just want to borrow the blue one. I wouldn't ask unless it was for this party. I mean, I just think he's going to be there, and I just like to look nice. And that dress is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Look, I won't spill anything on it, I promise. And I won't even drink anything all night. I won't eat anything either. There'll be no crumbs, nothing, I promise. Look, I'll wash up for a month. I'll do all your washing. Oh, please let me.
5.
Good morning. I wonder if I could just take a few seconds of your time just to tell you about a special offer we're doing at the moment. We're in your area and we're doing free quotations on brand new kitchen units. Now, these units are made to measure. They're marvelous. They're handmade by our craftsmen. Therefore, it's very much cheaper getting them directly from our workshop than going to the shops. And also, you don't have to pay at all for anything this year. So basically, we'll install the kitchen for you, and you don't have to pay anything till next year. Now, that's a fantastic offer. I'm sure you'll agree.
6.
All the others are going to be there, and there's no school the next day. Do you remember you said that if I started doing better in maths, you'd let me stay out? Well, I got good marks, didn't I? And I'll get a taxi home and I'll pay for it. So I'm not asking you to pick me up. Just this time, it's important. Everyone is going to be there.
7.
The thing is, I know it would be a bit more expensive to live there and it's further away from work, but there are so many good sides to it. We'd be closer to my mother, so she could help more looking after the kids. It's greener, everything's less stressful. You could go into work by train. You could work on the train. That'd be okay, wouldn't it? You like trains. That'd mean you could spend more time with the kids in the evening. What do you think?
8.
Yeah, the mirror's right over here. Yeah. Oh, it really looks lovely. Yeah. Oh, it's gorgeous on you, though. You've got such a lovely figure. What size is that one? Oh, it's a size 10. Yeah, well, there you are, you see. I can only get into size 12. You are lucky. Well, I'll tell you what, though. That dress really looks nice because the way it's cut over your hips, you see, if you just turn round there, look in the mirror. It's ever so nice. And the colour's good on you as well because, green really goes with red hair. Yeah. Oh, I think it's really nice. It's quite good because you can use that dress for all sorts of things, couldn't you? You could go to parties in it and wear it out anywhere, really.
Here you can find the answers to the previous exercise. Check and compare. Here you have to match the sentences halves. Pay attention to the phrases in bold. Check your answers and correct the ones which are wrong. Okay, this is the end of the lesson. I hope you enjoyed it and learned a lot. Take care. Bye-bye.